Hello guys, welcome to another season of Let's Talk by Verified. So finally I've gathered here to discuss some pre-season predictions and the fans are waiting for the next season starting tomorrow. So as usual we have Hardik Sharma with us, none other than Hardik Sharma, Noam Shah and Shrey Joshi to deliberate and discuss upon some of the few latest predictions. So I think the main focus to keep up this debate is relegation. I think we can start with that. So, Norm, what is your take? What is your brief take about the relegation that can take place in this season? Yes.
Well, I believe, from my point of view, I believe West Brom, Brighton, and Fulham will be relegated at the end of the season.
Mhm. All right, that was some quick information for us. Hardik, pick from your side.
Yeah, what I see that the three that will be relegated will be obviously West Brom, because not they were not that much active throughout the. Next, what I think is Fulham. Their manager is quite young, and yeah, but not exact, not what it takes to be a Premier League team to survive. And lastly, I'll say it's a tie between Aston Villa or Britain. So let's see who takes the and who
Right.
survives.
Asking you, Shrey, what is your take on this?
Yeah, according to me, the two teams out of the three which have been promoted this year would struggle, and those will be Fulham and West Brom. Obviously, they do not have the quality of squad that is required to sustain a Premier League season as compared to the other teams. And the third team which will be relegated, according to me, would be either of Aston Villa and West Ham. West Ham because they showed glimpses last season that they were very close to being relegated, and they haven't added any new players also. And Aston Villa, if they keep hold of Jack Grealish, they have a good chance of staying up.
Yeah, so I think from this discussion, that is pretty clear that Fulham is the team that is we are choosing to be relegated, succeeding West Ham or and Brighton in the next place. So and maybe Aston Villa as well. I think that's all for this. Okay, so I think moving on to the most important discussion, that is top six discussion that needs to take place. That is something every person, every football fan is looking forward to. So I think I'll start with Hardik. You, what is? I think we can all like unanimously gather our debate and pick top six teams, right? So Hardik, what is your start? With which team will you start? Yes.
Like for the sixth team, I'll keep it Arsenal, because yeah, they have been very impressive. Like Arteta has been very impressive in his first season by winning two trophies, and obviously they'll be motivated for the next season as well. But yeah, Arsenal having a bit like some drawbacks, defensive drawbacks, and yeah, Aubameyang is always there to help them out. But I'll keep them as a sixth position because we still need to test Arteta's tactics in the Premier League.
Right.
And if we, yeah, so
Okay.
if we take up the fifth,
According to me,
okay.
there's a very high chance of Wolves also finishing
Mhm.
at sixth place because they've added a lot of good signings in the recent days. They have a good squad. They have now Portuguese international Diego Jota also. He's playing quite regularly with the national team. Then you have Raul Jimenez
Mhm.
and other people like Adama Traore also. He gives you with goals and assists now more or less every season. For the last two seasons, he has been quite consistent. And there will be a tough competition with for Arsenal in the likes of Wolves. So yeah, and in fifth position I see Tottenham just because they have Mourinho in their ranks, and he manages to get a good season out of each team he has coached the second season. So yeah, with the also there's a chance if Tottenham do not do well this season, they'll lose out on Harry Kane also because he isn't winning anything and he must be itching to get out and win some trophies also. So yeah, according to me, fifth would be Tottenham.
Okay, thank you for discussing fifth place. We weren't talking about that. Okay, so now moving on to you. What do you think is the place for which team? Right?
Yeah, well, I believe there will be very tough competition for fifth and sixth. For the sixth position, I believe it will be either Leicester or
Hmm.
Arsenal. Yeah, Ashley also said about Wolves. Yeah, Wolves, but I believe Wolves can lose consistency over the entire period. They tend to draw, lose during the middle period of the season. So I believe it will either be Leicester City because they've got a great manager, Brendan Rodgers. He's
Hmm.
experienced. He's got a good squad, a young squad, and even in the last season also, just in the end of the season, they were drawing or either losing much of the games because of the injuries and sort. But I believe Brendan Rodgers can pull off another great result, and he can bring Leicester in the sixth spot. Arsenal, I believe, are still a very immature side if we talk about that because they've got very young players
Hmm.
and they haven't had very great signings as such, and they are very vulnerable in defense also. So just sitting back and focusing themselves on only counter attack won't prove much worthy throughout the season. So I believe, according to me, sixth position Leicester will take it.
Right. Okay. So I believe that fifth and sixth position revolves around like four teams. That is perhaps Tottenham, Arsenal, Wolves, and another pick for sixth side from Noam. That is Leicester. So I think we can move to top four position. So yes, Shrey, you can start with the fourth position. Who do you think is suitable for that?
Yeah, that's quite an unpopular opinion, but I see Chelsea finishing fourth just because they've signed a lot of players. And
Mhm.
signing players is one thing, and getting them to play together is one thing. So it will take the team has to gel together. Then only they can do something. Otherwise, then third I see Manchester United, just because they are one or two signings short of closing the gap on Manchester City and Liverpool. If they manage to get Jadon Sancho, then the story will be different, of course. At second place, I see Liverpool, just because it is difficult to win back-to-back Premier League titles and manage to keep that consistency for 2 seasons. Also, they haven't added players in their squad, whereas City has again for another season improved on their squad. So yeah, first is City and then second is Liverpool.
Right. Okay, Adik, you can start with your list for top four.
Yeah,
Yes.
obviously this is very debatable position if we start with the fourth one because according to me, I have put Manchester United on the fourth position.
Mhm.
I have no explanation through like a tactical explanation for this, but yeah, obviously, like if we see the 2020 form, like Manchester United has been on a roll. So like I feel that at some point of time, maybe there comes a time that Manchester United is basically a bit inconsistent or something. So maybe like there's a chance that it becomes inconsistent and finishes on fourth position. What I take as a third position is obviously another debatable team is Liverpool, and my same explanation is that because they have been the champions last season, and it will be very difficult for them to maintain that same position again in the Premier League.
Mhm.
And for me, the second position will be Chelsea. Obviously, we know why I'm saying that because they've been quite aggressive in the transfer window and probably the best 11 that we have on the paper. So I'll go with Chelsea, and obviously on the top is Manchester City because yeah, they are quite hungry for the uh, title because they have spent a lot of money on their team and players. So obviously, I hope they'll be pushing harder this time and will be going for the trophy. I guess. Yeah,
I see.
that
No,
was my
I'm
take.
not happy with the list you proposed for top four
Yeah.
at I think many positions. So yes, Noam, how do you contradict this?
No, I was happy with Hardik pointing Manchester United at fourth position. I just blew my mind off when he said that Liverpool will finish third.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he put forward his points, and yeah, some of them are very valid also. Yeah, I see United finishing fourth. Again, another an unpopular opinion from my side about Manchester United. I believe Manchester United did not pull off the third position because they played extremely well last season. It's just because Leicester and Chelsea did lose out their consistency, and they started throwing away results because even in the 18-19 season they finished with 66 points, They were, I guess, sixth or seventh in the league, and they had 66 points even in another next season. That was the last season, and they finished third. So I don't believe, as such, they did improve according to points. Yeah, but their individual performances have been good. So, but yeah, as Shrey pointed out, that they still lack a few good players in certain positions. I believe they should have had another good centre back. I do not see Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof being that effective as compared to the centre backs of Liverpool, obviously, and then City also. So I believe Manchester United still will find themselves inconsistent throughout the season, somewhere or the other during the winter break or early January next season. And instead, in the third position, yes, I see Chelsea finishing in the third position, because yes, Shreya absolutely pointed out correctly that just going out for a shopping spree and bringing in players won't do justice to this league. They have to have that chemistry also, to bond between themselves, and to gel out with each other together. They've had only 1 or 2 weeks training together as a one squad. They were out on international break as well, and we have now seen Hakim Ziyech is injured also. So I see Chelsea finishing third. They still are in talks with a good goalkeeper, so they don't have a goalkeeper as such. So I see Chelsea finishing third.
What about first and second position? They're still.
Top two.
Should I start with it? Okay, I'll do it.
So you have a
So
limited time. You don't have. You're not sitting at your home. Yeah, we just want to wrap it up.
I think you do not even need to.
And I also want you to wake up from your dream. So right. So yeah, your opinion towards the top two.
Well, obviously, if I'll talk about Manchester United winning fourth, that you'll obviously think it will be a dream, but that's a very popular opinion amongst the pundits all over the world. Not calling myself one, but I see Manchester City.
Pandit Noam Shah.
Yes. The Indian Scouser. So I see Manchester City finishing second, uh, just just because I just feel so. They've lost Leroy Sané. They've got another winger, Ferran Torres. So I still doubt his efficiency in the Premier League. They've got Nathan Ake as a new centre back. So Laporte and Ake will be the new pairing. But then it's a very big debate. Can Liverpool pull off that German machine they were last season? Can they do it again? In the 18-19 season, they were bringing in players just like Chelsea. They got Fabinho, they got Naby Keita, they got Alisson Becker, they got Jordan Shaqiri. And then in the 2 seasons, that is the last season and this season, they've been completely dormant in the transfer window. So this is because Klopp believes in improving the current players they have, and the signings they had that time, they still haven't improved that much. Naby Keita has been plagued with injuries, and Sheridan Shaqiri hasn't found a place yet. So I believe yes, it was still debatable even last season also in the 18-19 season, when everybody said, okay, Liverpool lost out league just by 1 point, finishing on 97, they won't be able to do it again. But last season they gave it their 200%. They finished with 99 points. So I believe yes, they can do it again and they can win again.
Okay. Right. So, like I was trying to not get included in this discussion, but since the debate was going so heated, so I just wanted to, join in. And yeah, so if we talk about top four, I think I would first wake up Noam from his dream and talk about the reality. So I think it's not just about Klopp's strategy of making the existing players better. It is sometimes about the shopping spree that Lampard followed and getting good new players from the market, because market is nothing but a place where you get in new players and you have to test, right? You have to do some sort of experiments with your team. And since Lampard, it's the first season for Lampard, it's a new season for Lampard. You see new season for Arteta and obviously for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So that is how I think a good team is built. That is what we call a rebuilding phase. So if we discuss, I think maybe like for fourth position, I see Manchester United, no doubt, because the rest of the teams in top four have a clear edge over them. But yeah, the story can be different after the maybe winter season. But I see third position is quite debatable from my end, because Chelsea, uh, we saw that Chelsea was performing overwhelming during the last days of the previous season, beating Manchester United in the FA Cup semi-final, and then trying to get the hold of the FA Cup trophy, but unfortunately didn't. And we saw the consistency with which Lampard tried to get in with his boys. So maybe like it's an opinion from my end that Liverpool can finish third place, and Chelsea might take on second, but that is exactly an opinion from my end. And for Liverpool, I feel it's 30 years or nothing. So that is the strategy what I feel uh, is going to take place.
Well,
Yeah,
I believe Manchester United fans are still dreaming about Jadon Sancho. Is that's just the reason that they are still
No,
believing in the fact
see,
that
see,
it's 30 years of
that is
nothing.
the point. That
that
is the
is
point. Now you, for suppose if your Sadio Mane or Mohamed Salah gets injured, who do you replace that 20 goals, 25 goals a season with?
Minamino.
Yeah,
I
You
guess
have,
he has the
I
answer for
don't
that.
see,
yeah, yes,
I don't
I
see
yeah,
Shaqiri
that is a
scoring
possibility.
20.
Yes, that is a possibility. Yes, of course. But that is what Klopp has been trying to rebuild entire throughout the squad. We've seen 3 complete seasons without any as such big major injury. But yeah, that's a possibility. I won't disprove that.
Yeah,
So you
you
must
guys have been lucky, a bit lucky that all of your players have been fit
Could
in the
be,
last
yes,
season.
could be, yes, could be. You're absolutely right. Yes, we could be lucky, but until and unless a team or the squad doesn't work hard enough, luck doesn't come their way. So that's another point.
Yeah, obviously. But you see in Manchester City, every season Aguero gets injured, and even after that, they manage to compete with Liverpool for the title and more or less finish second. Even after Aguero being injured, they didn't have KDB with them for quite a long time. I guess 3 4 months. Then also they finished the season with quite in a quite good position. So I was thinking that Klopp would add somebody to just cover up on Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. But just because of that, I see Liverpool finishing second because they do not have the squad depth. And in those front three positions, everywhere else, yeah, but not in those front three.
Right. So yeah, I think we are through with this top six positions, because I think more or less we are on the same plate as of now. Maybe like top four are fixed. Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United. That is what we are revolving around. And for fifth, sixth position, it's more or less around Tottenham, Arsenal, Wolves, and yes, another team by Norm, that is Leicester.
Leicester.
Right. I think we can shift this towards maybe the player of the year, player of the season, because that is, one of the most prominent recognition that is given. So yes, we can start with it. We can start discussion. I think Noam can start it.
Well, it's too well from my point of view. It's too early to even call upon who will be the player of the season next year, because it will depend who will finish first, second, third.
Right.
So if we go by teams, I can see either Kevin De Bruyne winning it from Man City. If they again Kevin De Bruyne pulls off another season, he absolutely can.
Hmm.
He's currently, I believe, from my point of view, the best midfielder Europe currently has. So Kevin De Bruyne can be there. Bruno Fernandes has been fantastic for Manchester United. And if Liverpool can win it again next season, I can see even Sadio Mane winning the Premier League team of the player of the season.
Right. Yes, I think that three are the good contenders for this. Yes, Hardik, what is your pick for the player of the season?
Yeah, I completely agree with Noam. Like, obviously, KDB will be there as a strong contender given his performance this season. And Bruno Fernandes will surely be another competitor with him. So, I guess these both will be in competition with one another. And I guess one of them will be the player.
Good, because we back sometimes more on midfielders to take this recognition.
Yeah, exactly. Because they are the basic backbone of the team.
Right.
Because they are the playmakers, they are the passers, they are like everything. So that's what a player of season is basically, who can do
Right.
everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Shrey, you can also place your bet on players.
I think the player who manages to keep himself fit throughout the season would take the player of the season trophy. It will be between KDB and Bruno, because KDB tends to get injured in between the season, And we've seen Bruno consistently playing games for Manchester United, not even missing a single game, and that shows his consistency and his fitness. So there I see Bruno playing the whole season and then ultimately getting the better stats over KDB. And and I see a player from Manchester City this time who takes the Golden Boot, maybe Raheem Sterling, maybe Sergio Aguero. But yeah, if he manages to keep himself fit throughout the season and City winning the title, then it will add to that City needs Sterling and Aguero to score for them. And if they manage to win the title, definitely there will be someone from Manchester City. It will be either Raheem Sterling or Sergio Aguero.
Right. So yeah, majorly player of the season is between Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne, right? And as you said, that Golden Boot can be shared, like can be contended between Raheem Sterling or Aguero. For me, I would add Sadio Mane into this discussion because he's the one who can put the ball in the net. That is something which he's consistent with. Yeah, and I would like Mom to maybe support my point.
Yes, for the Golden Boot, I believe there'll again be many contenders. It won't be that a one-way race. I see even Pierre Aubameyang being a very big contestant again. He gets those numbers. He's got two Golden Boots back to back. So Pierre Aubameyang is there. Then Salah is consistent. He gets the numbers. Sadio Mane, Rishi talked about physicality and being fit. I don't see anybody fitter in the Liverpool squad than Sadio Mane. He plays almost every game. He's hardly ever out. He gets those numbers even in crucial times when Liverpool struggle. Sadio Mane is the one player they depend upon and who gets the goals. So yeah, Sadio Mane can also be there. Salah can be there. Aubameyang can be there.
Harry Kane also.
Harry Kane
Yeah,
is,
Harry Kane.
yeah.
Yeah, Mourinho is trying to bring his that form back. So yeah, Harry Kane is also a good one. Great.
Yes, Hardik, any new additions from your end?
Yeah, I agree with all the names. I guess Jamie Vardy can also be there. Like if there's a possibility of him being like this season also he played very good. So yeah, that's one addition that I'd like to make up to this name.
I can make one more addition if like time allows. I can even see a new a surprise Golden Boot winner in the form of Rodrigo from Leeds United, because he'll be a new player. He'll be a new player. He's got a great manager. Marco Bielsa is there, and even Timo Werner can be a good
Exactly,
competitor
Timo Werner
for the
can be
Golden
the
Boot.
one. Yeah,
We cannot rule out Timo Werner. He was the top scorer in Bundesliga,
yeah.
and I guess he
Exactly.
was the top
Robert
scorer.
Lewandowski was Robert
Oh,
Lewandowski was
but
the top
I mean, like he was
No,
close
but
enough.
like
He
closely,
was close enough.
closely we can say. Yeah.
Timo Werner is a good striker, so yeah, he can also be there, and he's got a great midfield in Chelsea. Kai Havertz is there, Christian Pulisic is also there to
Absolutely.
feed. So Timo Werner can also be there.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot way to predict.
All right. So yeah, I think that was a good discussion on preseason because we are seeing players back in the field from tomorrow evening, and that would be exciting, and also we'll see new players on field. So I think that's it. We can wrap up this edition, and we'll see you probably in the first week match highlights or maybe review. So that's all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye bye.
See you.